Hello, hi guys! Welcome back to Ink with Ivy. So I've been putting an Instax photo page in my bullet journal this year, and I've had an Instax Mini 25 camera and an Instax SP1 printer that has currently gone MIA. But when Fujifilm released their new hybrid instant camera called the Mini Liplay, I have no idea, but I decided out with the old and in with the new. Now I've had my new camera for about 5 months and I must say I'm a huge fan. So this is my Instax page from February, and I'm going to just run through why the Liplay is worth it in my opinion if you enjoy Instax prints. So it has this app that you can download to connect with the Mini Liplay, and it connects via Bluetooth, and because mine has previously connected, it is picking it up straight away. So typically when I use the camera, I go to this option Direct Print, select Image, and I'll pick out a few photos from the month that I'd like to use. So a bit of fussing with repositioning. And then as you can see, it gives you a display of the print before you press print, so you can see how it is bordered in the Instax, which I really like. And this photo, being February, was us celebrating Valentine's. So it takes about a minute to communicate with the printer. And then voila, easy as 1, 2, 3. So now I'll go ahead and just pick a few other prints, and I actually printed 5 this month because I was a bit indecisive and I decided 2 of them were from the same day, so this next one I printed. So Instax film isn't super cheap, so I tend to use the Liplay as a printer so I can pick the photos I like and not worry about wasting film. But I also like that I have the option of using it as a camera too, should I choose to lug the camera around and be more spontaneous. However, not totally spontaneous, because with this camera, it takes a photo but you can preview it and decide to print. So one could argue it takes the fun out of instant prints, but for me it really takes out the anxiety of wasting film. Okay, here it is coming up with a printer error, which is actually because of something I did which I shouldn't have, which I'll explain later. But basically I've run out of film, so I've just got to load a new cartridge, which is quite easy as you can see here. So I'm just removing the old cartridge. So you're just going to make sure when handling the new cartridge that you're careful to not compress it, and then you will load it in by lining up these yellow markers. When you close it, it will eject this black plastic piece that was covering the light sensitive film. Okay, so 5 prints done. It's as easy as that. So now other features in the app are sound, as prints can include a QR code for sound. Remote shooting, so you can see what the camera sees on your phone in order to take photos. Shortcut, which allows you to preset 3 frames as shortcuts on the buttons on the side of the camera. Direct print, which we dealt with, and settings, which can help you set up and use your camera. So going back to shortcuts, these are frames that are provided by Fujifilm, but you can also create original frames, but I've not tried that feature. So having a look at the camera, my biggest con about it is that the front lens is totally exposed. It doesn't close or have a lens cap. This button allows for audio to be recorded when taking a photo. The shutter button here takes the photo. And there is this little selfie mirror to help you orient the camera, and the flash was to the left of the lens. Now this is where I did something I shouldn't have, which was to demonstrate how to open the film cartridge flap. If you're in the middle of a cartridge, the camera thinks that you are putting a new cartridge and will eject that first plastic piece. But in this case it was an ongoing cartridge, so it ejected a film. Whoops. Okay, now on the side are 3 shortcut buttons for frames to lay over your photos, the power button, and at the bottom here is a speaker that records sound. Okay, so now a proper look at the back, where you've already seen the film door latch, followed by a decent LCD monitor. The little opening on the left is for a micro SD card to save your photos, and the buttons at the bottom from left to right are menu, back, playback, and print. And you can see there on the side is where the strap provided can be attached. On the top is where the film is ejected. And I forgot to show it, but on the bottom is a micro USB port for charging the camera. So I've pressed one of the shortcut buttons that has laid this half pink frame over the screen, and I'm going to press the shutter button to take a photo. In the menu I can zoom, which lets you shuffle the photo around and zoom in. Now here is the frame I've chosen for another shortcut button. And this is the last shortcut button. Now I can go to the menu and delete one or all of the frames. So pressing different cross key buttons around the menu button allows you to change the following settings. So right is setting the flash, down is choosing a filter, and there's quite a few filters you can choose from. Left is setting a self timer, and up is setting any of the other frames they have in the camera to go over your photo. So other things in the shooting menu is an AF illuminator, exposure, which can be useful if you are in low light or a well lit environment. Print settings, which allows you to decide where to put the sound QR code and what color the code is. I find the sound feature a bit gimmicky, so I haven't used it. Bluetooth settings, which you may need if you're having trouble pairing or pairing to a new device. The cross key guide can be turned on or off, which is this thing. You can set up the date and time. You can set up the language of the camera, the sound setup of the camera, playback volume if you've recorded sound and want to hear it back, auto power so that it doesn't waste the battery, You can reset to default factory settings of the camera or just the shortcut frames. And finally, format of the memory card or firmware of the camera. Okay, reviewing my prints now that they've fully developed. Some of them did print a bit dark, so I might need to consider brightening some darker photos before printing them next time. I think the print quality is a lot better than the prints I achieved with my SP1 printer, which is another reason I'm justifying the Liplay. Now, to pop these in my bullet journal, as you can see, there is room for 4 if I lay them out vertically. And I'm just going to be using some glue tape to stick them down. Okay, so I just realized I was all out of glue tape, so I must add that to my shopping list for the week. So just making sure I line them up and press them down, although I can only stick one down today. Now I'm using my Dymo label maker to make little labels with the date of each photo to stick on the bottom. I really wish they'd have these older retro ones more and their tape more widely available. Can't stand those new electronic Dymo label makers. So overall, I really like the Instax Mini Liplay. Pros about the camera are that it can direct print, still operate as a camera where you can review the photo. It's a stylish compact camera and it works really well for my simple needs. Cons, no lens protection, film is still expensive, and the camera itself was quite expensive. There's lots of features on it, like the sound QR code thing that I don't really use. However, that may attract you to this camera as opposed to others. However, I would totally buy this one again if faced with the same decision. And if you've never bought an Instax product before, this would probably be the one I would recommend. So long story short, that is my February Instax page and a mini review on the Instax Mini Liplay. So be sure to subscribe and like the video if you liked it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!